Whoever, Nate, go first.
Matt, just from either limiting their three-point shooting or limiting how many points you're giving up off turnovers, it seemed like a lot of satisfaction maybe for following what you guys wanted to accomplish today.
Yeah, obviously I thought Trey Kaufman-Renn really set the tone. Once again in the first half of the game, having 11 rebounds. I thought that was a big stat for us. But I thought in our last game, you have to understand in our last game, Banks, Combs, and Sage hit 9 threes. All right, it's Combs' career high in threes. It's Banks' career high in 3. And tonight they have 0. So just the change from one game to another. I just thought, and it wasn't always this way, but we just kind of overdid Bennett Stearns. I have like what he's done in the last 8 to 10 games in the Big Ten doesn't happen very often. To say he's an efficient player is an understatement. He's a very good player. He can pass the basketball. He can pick his spots. He's one of those guys you're like, he's all right. And he has 28. He has 7 assists. He has 6 rebounds. They're like, he just has got a real mature pulse to what he does. And in the last couple games, they need those makes. There's just no way around it. They need those makes. They need scoring from some other guys in other areas to be able to get that balance. And the ball doesn't, always go in. But I thought from our standpoint, we didn't overdo him this time. We guarded him. We got into him, but we really wanted to hold on some of our ball screen stuff. And at times that exposes us because he gets the ball out of his hands, and now we're a little vulnerable. We're 3-on-2, 4-on-3 type stuff on the defensive side. So, but I thought that was the key. The turnovers are a wash, right? We have 5 and they have 6. We out-rebound them, and then we obviously shoot the ball better. And then I thought we just, from a physical standpoint, I thought we had more of a physical team tonight. Braden does a great job of running the show. And then when we're making shots, the other night against Nebraska, I thought it was our best effort of the season. I thought it was our best rebounding of the season. Our execution was good, but we didn't make shots. We missed free throws at the end of the game. We missed wide open threes in the second half. And if we can combine our execution with shot making, that really helps us.
Now, your team did a good job today scoring off of defensive stops.
Right.
You always talk about don't let your offense affect your defense. Did your defense affect your offense?
Yeah. Whether it was the play we just saw of Oscar, getting that block or getting some steals or just even if it's not turnovers, it's getting long rebounds. Sometimes when people take tough shots, those long rebounds are just like turnovers, and then we wanted to be able to push the basketball. But that's just not against Iowa. That's against anybody. You've got to be able, when you play good teams, you got to be able to score in transition or score in the glass. You just got to play in the half court, and that's the only thing you're doing. It gets pretty hard.
Gicarri obviously came out, gave you a bunch of points early. Just kind of your bench production all day. How did they spark you early?
He was great. He got that dunk and the and one, made a couple threes, but plays 20 minutes, gets 14 points, gets 3 steals, and doesn't turn the ball over. So I think he's got 1 turnover in conference play. C.J. Cox has 2 turnovers in conference play, and he has 1. So when you have guys that can make shots, that can guard and play that role, it really balances out our whole team.
Can you make any sense of why his numbers have been so much better on the road this season?
Right, yeah. It's when you need it too, right? It's when you need it. I think a lot of it's just probably opportunistic, how people are playing. Like when you sit there and you think about Braden Smith, going to get 1,000 assists here pretty soon. Trey Kaufman-Renn was the 3rd-team All-American, 1st-team All-Conference guy. Fletcher Lawyer's going to end up breaking Carson Edwards' record for most threes in the history of our school. When you sit there and you talk about that, Oscar Clough and his physical play, that kind of next spot, that's who ends up being open at times, against certain teams. And so now when those guys step up and make those shots, that really, like I said earlier, really balances us out.
Matt, you guys take everybody's best shot, and you have, whether it's Oregon last week and this league is really, really deep this year.
Right.
How have you guys handled just the mental toll that the season's taking?
Yeah, we just finished 6 out of 8 on the road, and So obviously, we lost two of those games on the road, and we lost one of them, the home game, obviously, to Illinois. You just got to be able to regroup. It's just different when they have to regroup from their loss at Maryland with short time, right? Sometimes it's good in short time to get back out there. Sometimes it's not, because now you travel back, now you got to get ready, and now it lingers. Sometimes that lingering can get you on edge and get your fight to be a little bit better. But then also in our league, it gets really hard, right? And so like when we look at it like, man, we got to go to Nebraska, we got to go to Iowa, we got beat at UCLA, we get beat at Indiana. And that just shows you how the game is. They beat Indiana by 17, we lose to Indiana there, then you watch this game. That doesn't make sense, right? Tying all that together doesn't make sense from our end, doesn't make sense from their end. But that's basketball. The guy I played for used to always say, it's when you play somebody. And then I just think like today was the right day for us to play. They're on short rest. We have one more day rest. We just won a game. We have an older team. We're more confident. So all those factors go in. It's really hard to quantify. You can talk about it all day long, but I've never been able to like grasp now moving forward. You just got to have a pulse on your team. And you got to try to, get their attention. Or you like tonight, he just tried to mix it up. He just was sending guys in there because he was just trying to find a group that can have some success together and build off of it. And that's tough. And it's also tough when you, excuse me, when you end up kind of playing possession basketball. We're playing possession basketball. They're playing possession basketball. When you get down that way, sometimes it's hard to climb back into the game.
Matt, why was your inbound offense so big?
I don't know. I can watch the tape and answer. But off the top of my head, I don't know. Probably because the guy taken out of bounds can really pass. I know you got CJ that one layup. No, just trying to execute and get some shots for those guys coming around there, and then if not, get a couple ISOs right there. But Sasha does a great job. Sasha Stefanovic runs her out of bounds plays. He does a great job. Kind of seeing different things, running different things. But also at times you have to keep it simple.
Last one, Casey.
Game kind of got physical late with Trey and Jacobson a couple times. Just how are your big guys handling that physicality throughout the 40-minute game?
Yeah, it's part of it. Like if you look at the best teams in basketball right now, if you look at their front lines, they're all stacked. You don't walk away from any of those top 6 to 8 teams and be like, these guys are just okay physically. Like they're all stacked, every single one of them. And so there's some, like with how we play, like a little bit different. It is not the most efficient thing for Trey Kaufman-Renn at times to be the 4. But like if you're gonna compete against those 6 to 8 teams and you get up against them, you gotta have Daniel, you gotta have Clough, you gotta have TKR. You just can't have a dude. Like you gotta have a lot of guys physically that can defend down there, that can rebound down there, and can put the ball in the basket. So, when that starts to get that way and get a little bit chippy, whatever, you gotta keep your mouth shut and carry a big stick. Like those guys wanna talk. And like there's no need to talk about it. Let those guys ref and stay right with it. But that's the goal. The goal is for us to really play well and do a good job here in March. But our front line's got to keep showing up like they did tonight, like they did against Nebraska. They were big time against Nebraska. I mean, you got one guy getting 10 offensive rebounds, you got one guy getting 16 defensive rebounds. Like that pays the bills. Thank you.